San Antonio starts right now.
We have got to get DFD down here now. He is 1-6 right now. 169, get him here.
This was a well-planned, well-thought-out, evil tragedy.
Texas is going to be greater going forward, unaltered, unaffected by this act of cowardice.
Reaction continues to pour in tonight after a night of terror in Dallas. Good evening, I'm Randy Beamer, live here in Dallas with team coverage of what happened here last night. And again, that reaction today, the feelings here today in Dallas and from all over this country. We're bringing you the latest on the killing of 5 police officers in that sniper attack. We have 2 crews reporting here in Dallas with me. Want to let you know first what we know right now. Now, in addition to those 5 officers killed, 7 police officers were shot and injured. 2 civilians were as well. And this was all at a protest rally over the 2 recent high-profile officer-involved shootings, one in Louisiana, one in Minnesota. But Dallas officials have now identified this afternoon 3 of the 5 officers who have killed and released their identities. 2 of them, Dallas police officers, Michael Kroll and Patrick Zamaripa, the other Dallas Area Rapid Transit, or DART officer Brent Thompson. Now, police say the shooter is 25-year-old Micah Xavier Johnson. He is a former U.S. Army reservist. He had no criminal record. But early this morning, after an hours-long standoff with police, negotiations, they say, went nowhere. They sent in a bomb robot, and he was killed. There are still a lot of chaos and confusion surrounding this shooting. And just moments ago, we heard that Dallas police officers were investigating what they call a suspicious package. Now, we are here at City Hall. That suspicious package was found a few blocks away from here in an area still closed off to traffic. And our Ashley King is there live with the latest. Ashley?
Well, Randy, we are just a few blocks away from where that shooting happened last night. I want you to take a look at what's going on right now. Police have about a 2-mile stretch of this road blocked off right now because of a suspicious package. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some video that we shot when we first got out here. Now, we're not sure if this has any connection to what happened last night, but a witness tells me that she was inside her apartment when police evacuated her building. She says a suspicious package was found outside of a building. And we've seen bomb dogs as well as an officer in a bomb suit checking out this area. And as you can imagine, emotions are running high for everyone in Dallas right now. Earlier today, we spoke with the community members about how this shooting is impacting them. We'll bring you that later tonight at 10, and we'll also have more from a rally that's coming up that's scheduled to start in about an hour. For now, we'll send it back to you, Randy.
All right, thanks, Ashley. Meanwhile, Governor Greg Abbott here at the City Hall just within the past hour offered his condolences to the families of the officers, everyone involved. But Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick earlier today offered a more controversial approach. It was more confrontational as he blamed Black Lives Matter protesters for this kind of violence.
Too many in the general public who aren't criminals but have a big mouth are creating situations like we saw last night.
And the protest group from last night says the rally had remained peaceful up until the shots were fired. Now, today, the organizers of that protest held a press conference here today to talk about what they had hoped would happen last night, to condemn the violence, and our Michael Locklear was there for that, joins us live. Michael?
Randy, we're here outside Dallas Police Headquarters where a memorial is growing tonight. People stopping by and leaving, as you can see, flowers, American flags, teddy bears, candles on top of 2 police cruisers. I also want to give you a sense of the media presence that is here. More than a dozen cameras, I'd say, reporters from across the country, even international media. And earlier today, as you mentioned, we heard from the pastor who spearheaded that demonstration and march, calling for love, not violence. Reverend Jeff Hood told News 4 he organized a last-minute peaceful protest, and it turned into a nightmare. Hundreds had been raising their voices in response to officers shooting black men in 2 other states. The Reverend says he's still trying to make sense of what happened, the why behind all the gunfire that sent people scrambling.
This is a devastating time for the city of Dallas. It's a devastating time for us as activists and organizers. We cannot bring about justice through violence.
Reverend Hood called the deaths of those 5 officers devastating and said it's an incredibly dark day here. And the police chief vowed to leave no stone unturned, no lead unchecked, so investigators can give the victims and their families justice. Randy, back to you.
All right, thanks, Michael. Talking with a lot of people here at City Hall, including a lot of officers. We've seen dozens here. I talked with some on camera, some off camera. They feel like a family, and while they are just stunned and in mourning as well, they also feel like they wanted to do something. And I talked with this afternoon with a police corporal as he was giving blood. Now, this, we're told, was a planned event here at City Hall by the American Red Cross, planned for the public and for city workers to donate. But of course, after last night's shooting, with 12 officers shot, a number of those injured in the hospital, the police department put out a call, and those who could came out. Of course, a lot of them were tired. Some of them couldn't be here today. But while he was giving blood, 4 fellow officers, he told me what he hopes will happen now.
There seems to be some need for discussion, people to get on the same page. There's a lot of angst in the world and the states right now, so hopefully communication will improve and things get better. You know, it needs to.
Now, just before we went live here at City Hall, I talked with Dallas's mayor. He told me that he has heard from Mayor Ivy Taylor, from Representative Joaquin Castro. You'll also hear more from him tonight at 10. I'll have that. We'll also have more at 6:30. Again, it is hard to describe the feeling of sadness here in Dallas. It is a community-wide funeral, so to speak. They're in mourning, but everybody is hugging. A lot of tears we've seen today, and we expect that feeling is you don't know how long it's going to take to get over that. But we're going to be here through the evening, and we'll have more coming up for you later on News 4 San Antonio. For now, back to you.
Thank you, Randy. Turning to some other developing news now, a police officer in Missouri is in critical condition fighting for his life after he was shot in the neck during a traffic stop this afternoon.
Let's head to Robert Price. He is at the live desk tonight for the very latest on this developing story. Robert?
Well, good evening. A scary scene this afternoon in a suburb of St. Louis. Right now, the officer is in surgery, the shooter is in custody, and we're getting a better idea of what exactly happened during this traffic stop. Let's take you out to a news conference held by the St. Louis County and Baldwin Police Departments. This is what they know so far. It was around noon when the 9-year veteran of the force pulled over a blue Ford Taurus for speeding. The officer walked up to the driver's side window, he talked to the driver, and then started headed back to his unit. As soon as he turned his back, police say the driver jumped out of his car and opened fire on that officer, firing at least 3 shots. The officer was hit once in the neck and went down. As the police chief put it, make no mistake, this officer was ambushed. Meantime, the shooter was caught not far away and is now in custody. He's 32 years old and was on probation for a weapons violation. And quickly, we're also hearing about another police officer shot, this one in South Georgia. Apparently, a man called 911 to report a break-in, then ambushed that officer who came out to investigate, shooting him. However, the officer in that case did return fire and is expected to recover. Delaine?
All right, Robert, thank you very much. Still ahead tonight after the shooting of police officers in Dallas, we talk with a survivor of a shooting of police here in San Antonio. What he has to say about the recent violence coming up.
And many people here in San Antonio are showing support for Dallas. Throughout the show, we will have tweets and comments from our viewers and local leaders. Here are just a few.